Alright, welcome to the YouTube enjoyers. Today, the director did the immersion stream. Korea was on the biggest wildfire, and a lot of people were actually quitting, and he finally came up. Rather than focusing on the future content, most of the stream covered the current problems that exist in Lost Ark. First one is the economy problem. The economy in Korea is really not good. It's over 8,000 to 9,000 gold per 100 blue crystal. So in order to deal with the gold inflation, they've been not giving good reward on the high tier content, and at the same time they've been consistently nerfing the amount of the gold in the low tier content, which did not work out well. With that being said, what he brought up is number one, Korea is finally adding bound gold system. And not just that, the upcoming Express in summer will provide a lot of bound character gold so that people can reach to the high level. Second of all, right now from today in Korea, we will get the gold frog as well. The last time that Korea got gold frog is like 3 to 4 years ago. I can't even remember. From the frog, players can exchange up to 6 random relic engraving books every week. And this event will last for 4 weeks, so that's like 24 random relic engraving books. Now the thing is, people complained in the YouTube live channel saying if it's random, it would not make any difference on the economy. And the director said, sure, that's why we will add another thing. Whenever you buy certain amount of these random relic engraving books, the frog will give the player one selection relic engraving book. Alright, next one is a different topic. And this one, remember the gem system that he talked about on last live stream? He said he's finding a way to make the gems roster bound, but with certain restriction, right? What he said is that he will not make the gems completely roster bound because that will hurt the gem price substantially. Instead, he is gonna add a new system called gem adjustment system. If you put your tradable gems to this system, then the gems become character bound. But you can freely change DPS to cooldown and vice versa, and it becomes presettable. I'm guessing that since it's character bound, presettable in the character since one character might use different builds, right? And it can change the skills freely as well. Plus, bound gems get more attack power compared to the tradable gems. And not just that, you can turn the character bound gems back to tradable. In that case, it does not become tradable right away. You have to wait for a certain time, which he did not mention how long. But you can make it immediately tradable by paying cost. He did not mention this part as well. I assume it's gold. So my guess is what's gonna happen is if the cooldown is like, for example, 1 day, then people are gonna have 3 sets of high level gems. And then for example, something like this. Wednesday on reset, among the 6 characters, character A, B, C, they do the raid with the 3 sets of gems. And then after the raid, they send it to D and E and F and wait for 1 day. So Thursday, they do the raid. Now the question that a lot of chat has been asking, 2 questions. Number 1, this system sounds regarded. Are you sure about this translation? If so, what's even point of this patch? First of all, I can clearly convince you that this translation here is 100% accurate. It is not roster bound completely, it's character bound, but technically you can make it roster bound if you wait for, this certain time or even pay cost to delete that time, right? And the second question is, what about the same class enjoyers? Are they over? I think people are not gonna use the system because if you don't use it, then you can still trade it. But in that case, the problem is you're not gonna get this, the additional attack power. We have to see what's gonna actually happen in KR. We don't know when this patch is gonna come, pretty much I guess Loa on. Next topic was game fatigue. So in order to alleviate the fatigue, they will add revival system. Basically like in Behemoth, the death count. Each of the players able to revive once per player. And then he talks about the end content difficulty. For the hard mode raid, they're gonna make it as now, but for the normal mode, they will try to make it much easier than now. For example, they will even try to delete some of the mech that exists in the hard mode. All right, next topic is Alleviation on raising characters. This one, the patch is gonna happen next month, which is May. Certain raid will have like reputational reward, like something like, when you clear hell mode, you get like title, right? That's what I'm assuming. So you will be able to get those kind of stuff even from these like weekly raid. And they're gonna delete the tripod system completely. Also, they're gonna delete the purple engraving completely as well. And lastly, they will alleviate from 1600 to 1620 honing area. And this one is about the horizontal content. He's saying that the game is too much vertical and it's burning out a lot of players. So he's trying to add some, horizontal content. Unlike, Gathering Mokoko or like, Heart of Island, all that thing. He's talking about something that can make people have fun. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but like 3 years ago, there was this showcase where there was an Argos in the Voltons field. And I feel like they're trying to resume those projects. Next one is the DPS meter. So a lot of Koreans has been raging hard about Korea not having DPS meter. People are mad because in a homework party in the PUG, it's a Omega jail. People just straight up die. But the thing is, homework party in Korea, I don't know about West, but in Korea it means you don't make mistake and you don't die. But like, so many people are dying and making mistake. And people are sick of basically liars. So they want the meter so that they can like filter out those people. Now the director says, no, we will not ever release the meter. So that's like, like 20th time that he says no, I think, OM. And the reason why he said that is he doesn't want like bad players to outskirt around other players. He wants everyone to just like play the game like together. He also said Lost Ark will not need a DPS meter since he is adding like, revival, like, count and like nerfing the raid, like so on and so forth. Like those things I said previously. But then the players are saying all those things like, differentiating the difficulty, like, death count, the revival. There's no point of doing that. It's literally because of the liars who is coming to the homework party. This game promotes playing up to 6 characters. There's so many chores to do. And then if someone starts keep dying like that, then the game becomes very like burning out. It doesn't matter, however, the raid is easy because the dying people will die forever. And then this first comment says, why do you think he doesn't know? It's because he doesn't play the game, LMAO. Next one is a balance patch, rework on certain classes, and it's not gonna be that far from now. For the supporters arc passive improvement, they will improve it by the time female Patty comes out. So that's gonna be this summer, I guess, like June, right? And the strike raid. Strike raid is a event raid that's in Korea at the moment. If you checked out my latest video, then it was one of the complaints that people were making, right? The reward being really bad because the reward is giving you gold with complete RNG. Sometimes you get this much gold, sometimes you get this much gold. So what happened is that if you do a hard mode strike raid and get the lowest like this, but then you can actually get less than the normal strike raid if you get more gold from the normal mode. To solve that problem, he says he will delete minimum grade, the heroic grade gold reward. So the minimum will become legendary, which is giving more gold than the heroic. That's good. Also, he will extend the strike raid. It used to be 8 weeks, but he will extend it another 4 weeks. So that's gonna be 12 weeks in total. Next one is about the legendary card. You know that when you open the random one, you have to click 5 categories, right? And then from there, you start the gacha. Let's say that you're done with Light Salvation. So you have to go for the 5th one, right? Which gives you some other new cards, the elemental cards. Let's say you don't have Guardian Lewin, but Guardian Lewin is like, needed for some cards, right? But the thing is, Guardian Lewin does not come out from that 5th pack. Because of that problem, he will add all of the outdated legendary cards to be able to be obtained from the Wandering Merchant. Okay, next one. He talks about Esther weapon, and he says that it's a huge mistake for making the Esther weapon Ella Ella. So Ella Ella, I don't know how it's pronounced in English, but in Korea, it's literally called Ella. You hone to like +8, I think, and then you do something called Ella and enhance it. In Season 3, they added double Ella, so basically secondary Ella, so we call that Ella Ella. And he starts apologizing to the Esther weapon owners. Sorry for making Ella Ella, it was a huge mistake. When Season 3 came out, people who had Esther weapon was at Esther single Ella. And the problem is that was weaker than the +25 normal weapon. So in order to be stronger than the +25 normies, they had to go for another Ella, which costed a lot of money. Literally, it was forced to pay to win. And here's something funny. So this streamer is one of those people who was forced to go for Ella Ella. How he reacts to the director's apology is that, huh? That's it? You just apology and it? Bro, like this is like saying you just straight up scam on our face and then just say, oh, sorry. And then he declares that he will completely quit Lost Ark because of that, statement that director made. Last one is, in order to make Lost Ark better, we will do a special deal called a Hot Deal Shop. And as you see in the image, they imported the Western skins to Korea, and it's not like they're giving it for free. They're selling it for blue crystal. First of all, hear me out, guys. So this is something that West got, and I think it would have been better if just West kept it. Don't you guys think so, chat? Korea is like getting yours as an apology reward, but the reward costs blue crystal. If I tell you how do the Koreans think? They are not feeling good with the stream. Number one reason is obviously the DPS meter. This guy is saying, yo, you're the one who made the raid very unfriendly for diverse people to play. It literally wastes my time with those sukkos. You made the game shitty like that, and then you ask us, why don't you embrace those people? Are you freaking kidding me? If you don't bring DPS meter, then I am not gonna play the game. I'm gonna quit the game. 95 upvote, 11 downvote. He tried to come up with a serious emergent stream, but it rather generated side effect. Interesting. Thank you so much all for watching. Let me know your thoughts. Stay giga shit. Spam 07.